Hey Vanner family, this is our first Mental Health Monday and I want to thank you for joining me. I want to say, and I need to say continually, that I am not a medical professional. Not a medical professional. And this is a peer support situation. This is not counseling. This is not therapy. This is not psychiatry. I have no idea what I'm doing. I am just here to share some of my struggles and insight and hear yours and encourage you and support you and give you a safe place where you can share if you so choose, or to help encourage others if you so choose. I would say that if you need professional medical help, that you need to seek the nearest mental health clinic or hospital. And if you are having suicidal thoughts at all, please call the National Suicide Prevention Hotline at 1-800-273-8255. 1-800-273-8255. Now, with that being said, you probably want to know what Mental Health Monday's peer support looks like, right? Well, I'm not 100% sure. So I'm going to let this form organically, let it form naturally. I need your peer support as well. So we're going to navigate this monthly time together. But some things I want to make sure that I touch on or share with you are my mental health history, my diagnosis, my struggles, both before and after VanLife. I want to share what works for me in the past. I want to share what I'm doing now. And if I change anything, I want to continue to share those things with you. Something I would like to incorporate in our time together is a small, simple assignment or an activity that might help us to improve our mood, encourage us, or to just help us with our mental health everyday, kind of day-to-day struggles. Now that I've done all that and stressed enough that I'm not a medical professional and this is peer support only, I remember that I asked you for this month's assignment to document your mood for 5 consecutive days from this month. Doesn't matter which days, doesn't matter if it's the beginning of the month, middle of the month, end of the month, whatever. Just 5 consecutive days where you documented your mood. And all I needed you to do was either list it out or write 1 sentence per day. Mine I'll be sharing down in the comments below. Please feel free to comment on mine or anyone else's. And let's begin supporting each other, okay? Maybe send a little encouragement to a comment if it speaks to you, or if you see a similar struggle or a similar pattern, just reach out to that person and maybe give them a little encouraging word. Just something as simple as, I struggle with the same thing, you're not alone, will do just fine. Now let me share a brief history of my mental health. I've struggled with undiagnosed mental health issues my entire life. Now, of course, I had no idea that I was having these struggles or these issues. I grew up feeling that I was just worthless, ugly, stupid, unlovable. I constantly thought of and attempted twice to take my own life. However, my suicide attempts truly were cries for help because I planned them out knowing that someone would find me. I didn't really want to die. I just knew that I didn't want to feel the way that I was feeling anymore. And I thought if someone found me, that it would help and it would take all of that away. But I really didn't want to die. For most of my life, I struggled to focus. I struggled to stick with anything for longer than a few months. I had so many jobs, just job hop. And I pretty much struggled with just getting out of bed from preteen age on. Each day was a struggle for me to get out of bed. Fast forward to my mid-30s, after seeing on and off different counselors and psychologists and therapists, from my mid-20s all the way through my early 30s. Around 2011, 2012, I was finally diagnosed with a psychiatrist having bipolar 2 depression with occasional anxiety attacks. I personally think I have mild ADD and OCD as well, but those aren't as crippling to me as the other diagnoses. So a few years after being diagnosed with my mental illness I was sent by my regular doctor to a rheumatologist, and that rheumatologist diagnosed me with hypermobility joint syndrome, which is part of the Ehlers-Danlos syndrome family, which is basically a type of connective tissue disorder that mostly affects the bones in the joints. Those with the condition have loose joints, which can result in joint instability and long-term pain, hence the brace I wear occasionally. I have apparently had this condition all of my life, and many times I was not believed when I complained of pain and injuries, which resulted in me being on crutches for pulls and sprains to my ligaments and tendons in my knees and ankles, all through my puberty and adolescence, all the way up through high school. And as many of you know, pain can feed depression and vice versa. So I spent many years in that vicious cycle. So that is the brief, completely no detailed history of my mental health. And for next month, I would like to touch on and talk about what I did about my diagnosis after receiving them, the mental health diagnosis and the chronic pain diagnosis. Now, for your assignment, I would like for you to write down a brief overview of your mental health history and review it for yourself. I don't need you to share it with me or anyone else. I just want you to review it for yourself, because I think a lot of times we look back on our history, especially as kids and teens, we realize we struggled with something and it went undiagnosed for a long time. And I know some of you are struggling still to get proper diagnosis of mental health and pain or physical illnesses, whether it be some sort of autoimmune disease or chronic pain disorder as well. So don't forget to share your 5 mood tracking days in the comments below, and try to reply something encouraging on at least 2 other people's comments. Let's support each other. Remember, I am glad you're here and you are loved.